Everybody, MSOM 601. I'm your instructor, David Britt, for the next 7 weeks, and looking forward to our time together in problem solving and critical thinking. Filming this intro video this week from a place near and dear to my heart. Lived here a couple of times, recently moved to Dallas, but you'll see the Space Needle here in Seattle. So I love all things Seattle, and you'll probably see that a lot over the next few weeks. Well, first of all, I wanted to welcome you to the course. For those of you who are existing students in the MSOM program, perhaps you're coming out of my class in Servant Leadership, MSOM 602. If you're doing that, welcome back. If you've been in the program a while and are just now getting around to taking 601, welcome to you as well. They're going to be about half and half in this class. They're going to be about half of you who are brand new students and about half who are existing students. So just want to let you know that up front. The course is designed a little differently. If you're a brand new student, you have a little bit more work to do, at least the very first week, than the existing students do. You'll see a section when you log into the course, which, by the way, the course will open 1 week prior to the class starting. So you'll be able to log into the course. I encourage you to get in, mess around, get dirty in the course, and just try and find your way around a bit. But what you will find is a section along the left-hand navigation that says New MSOM Students Getting Started. And what I've done is I've created a tutorial lesson for you to go through that will highlight many of the key concepts in the course. It'll also highlight some of the key things to get you used to navigating the course as well. So you'll go through a section on readings. You'll watch many videos. There'll be some videos that'll have me talking about some things. There'll also be some videos that are follow my mouse inside the course. And so I would encourage you to look at those right when you first get into the course because it's going to help you, I believe, navigate some of the components of the course. Then you'll also get some practice in discussion boards. Discussion boards are a key part of what we do in online education. You'll have a couple of applications. I'll ask you to go out and do some research at the CSU online library and then upload a PDF to me in the Dropbox. And again, you'll see that as you go through all of those things. And then you'll get to take a quiz. It won't be graded, but it'll be a check your understanding quiz where you'll be able to go through and hopefully highlight and repeat some of the things that you saw in the getting started. Now, for those of you who are existing students, you don't have to go through this, but it may be a good idea for you to go through and take some refreshers, particularly as it relates to your friend and mine APA formatting of papers. So I would encourage the new students, that should be the first place you go when you get into the course. And then existing students, you don't have to do that, but again, I would encourage you to go through it, if for no other reason than just to provide a refresher. One of the things I wanted to stress to new students and existing students alike is that I make quite a few announcements in the course. And you'll notice right on the home page, there's a section for announcements. Each week I'll do a video like this that will review the prior week's learning and then preview the upcoming week's learning. From wherever I am in the country at that point in time. Sometimes I'm just at home. But my hope is that you can use those to give you some ideas and some application for the prior week and then get you started on the right foot going forward. So make sure every time you log into the course that you look for the announcements and you look to see if there are any new announcements that I've posted since the last time you were in the course. A couple of things I want to draw your attention to. First of all, discussion boards. Discussion boards, as I mentioned earlier, are very important. I have a video on that in the Getting Started section, so make sure that you take a listen to that. But make sure that you post your discussion board, at least your initial post, early in the week, because it's hard to get a dialogue started. It's hard to get a discussion started when you post on the very last moment of the week, which, by the way, all the courses, all the lessons in the courses start on Monday morning, and they end Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So the first week starts on a Monday, ends Sunday night, 11:59. Then week 2 starts the next Monday, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So those are discussion boards. The next one I want to focus on is application. Application is one of those things that that we try to do in all of our courses. But when you write an application paper for me, please hear this. Every single paper, let me repeat that. Every single paper that you write for me needs to have several things. First of all, it needs to have a cover page. It needs to have an introduction section. It needs to have body headings that are descriptive of what you're talking about in the body of your paper. It needs to have a conclusion that recaps your key points in your paper, and it needs to have a reference page for all the references that you use in your work. So please hear me on this. I still have students sometimes just forget that, but every single paper needs to follow that particular format. Okay? Well, let's talk just briefly about Lesson 1. Lesson 1, you're going to be introduced to a story called Amina's Story. And Amina's story is the story of a young Iraqi girl who during the theater of war would have died had not a person in the Marines taken it upon himself to engage her and also to engage other people that were needed. This is an exercise, it's a tremendous example of problem solving and critical thinking in action. And so we're going to be living with this story over the 7 weeks in the course. So we're going to continually be referring to it. We'll also be asking you to analyze a few things in the story. So get to know that story. You'll be reading about it in Lesson 1. It's from the book Now You're Thinking, which is one of the 13 books in your ebook. Okay? So Amina's Story, you're going to be reading about that. Lesson 1, Discussion 1, will be an introduction. I'm asking you to provide an introduction to your fellow classmates and then to respond and welcome a couple of them. This is really important because, again, for most of you, you're going to be spending a lot of time with these same students over the next few weeks and months. So make sure that you are thorough in your introductions there. The second discussion question really talks about your first impressions of Amina's Story. What I'm trying to get you to do in this one is crawl inside my brain, which is sometimes a cloudy place. But I'm asking you to give me your first impression of Amina's Story, and perhaps ask and give some opinions on why you think I picked that story to go with problem solving and critical thinking. So that's discussion 2 in Lesson 1. And then the application this week is an application all about you. In every single course I teach in this degree program, I ask students to do a personal assessment. Now, the reason that I do that is I operate under the philosophy that if all we do in higher education is fill your head full of facts, figures, and theories, but we don't teach you anything about you, then I think we've failed. And so you're going to be going to an outside source, taking an assessment, answering some questions, and through that it's going to give you an idea what your critical thinking style is. Now there'll be 7 different choices that you'll either come up with, but the key message here is that everyone has or can have a different thinking style. One's not better than the other, but this will give you an idea of the lens through which you're going to view critical thinking and problem solving in this course. Finally, I want to invite the brand new students. If you haven't had an MSOM course before, I want you to email me, dbritt@csuniv.edu. Let me repeat that, dbritt@csuniv.edu. I want you to email me with 3 available times where you and I can connect on the telephone. I'd like for you to be next to your computer so that when we're going through that, I can help give you some tips on the course, on the online platform. But more importantly, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Sometimes in distance education, it can appear to be distant. And so it's Kid Day here at the Seattle Center. So what I want to do is make sure that we have a chance to get to know each other and to chat. Okay? Well, look forward to the next few weeks together. And study hard. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. Talk to you soon. Thanks.